Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When someone makes a claim, tells you something, makes a statement, this should be your first question. Is it true? How do you know it's true? Okay, this one, two questions should be from the very beginning, which are related, right? Is it true? And if it's true, how do you know that? Can you give me the information? How did you get this one? So that is, support your statement with evidence. That's what it is. That's how we think, because that's how the ancient Greeks told us that's good. And it's been good as long as we were allowed. Now it seems like this is not good. The identification is more important than logic and evidence and so on. There you go. So let's look at this article coming from Russia Today, and they're going to feature Donald Trump, former president, the 45, making some claims or saying something that some people definitely might disagree with. What's over there? All right, let's see. Here it is. And I'm quoting Donald Trump. Putin and Xi, quote unquote, love their countries, Trump says. 23rd of January 2024. Now, he's on a campaign trail, right? He's going to say whatever needs to be said in order to get elected in free and open elections. Yeah. President Joe Biden, by contrast, and I'm quoting Trump, grossly incompetent, the Republican candidate has said. Now you can say, well, is it true? Well, it's very easy to find out if it's true. And that is this guy working for our interests and we're going to have a better life, or at least we're going to achieve things, or not? That's the easiest way. After all, he's over there to make sure that he swear the allegiance to the Constitution, not to me, and to defend the Constitution. But that means he has to do that. Is he doing that? So let's see what Trump has to say. Former US President Donald Trump has described Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping as very intelligent men who, quote unquote, love their countries. Is he going to be arrested for free speech? That's dangerous. He's an asset again. Russiagate again. Trump frequently praised the two leaders and insisted that he is the only presidential candidate capable of standing toe-to-toe with them. Speaking to Fox News on Monday, Trump said that Putin and Xi, and I'm quoting, whether you like it or not, are very intelligent men, very powerful men, and very vicious men too. End quote. And I'm quoting, they love their country more, end quote, than US President Joe Biden does. Trump continued, adding that the 81-year-old Democrat is, and I'm quoting, not capable of negotiating with either. His handlers negotiate for him, Trump, as you know, that's the way it goes. You know that. We have, and I'm quoting Trump, we have a man as our president who is grossly incompetent. Trump told the conservative network, and I'm quoting, he can't put two sentences together. He can't walk off the stage. He can't find the stairs. He's destroying this country. Trump took a hard stance towards China while in office, but spoke warmly of Xi once Washington and Beijing struck a tentative trade deal in 2020. Trump met with Putin in Helsinki in 2018 and again at the following year, the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. But this effort to build what he called a very good relationship with the Russian president were stymied by the so-called Russiagate. Stymied investigation, which after 2 years failed to turn up any evidence of Russian meddling in 2016 presidential. Well, they say, well, it wasn't evidence. Some Russians put $250,000 in some advertisements, commercials on Facebook. Oy vey, compared with the millions these guys put. In the 2016 US presidential election, or collusion between the Trump campaign and Moscow. If elected president in November, Trump has claimed that he could end the conflict in Ukraine within 24 hours by sitting by sitting Putin and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky down and negotiating a deal. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday that Moscow had not been in contact with Trump and has no idea how his proposal could be accomplished. Nevertheless, Trump maintains that neither Biden nor his last remaining Republican opponent, Nikki Haley, that's going to be the only option after Trump gets banned from running. She's going to be, hey, she's right here running. She's already warming up on the sidelines. Let's get her in the field. Maybe she's going to score. Would have the matter mental to... Okay. Trump maintains that neither Biden nor his last remaining Republican opponent, Nikki Haley, would have the mettle to negotiate with Putin or Xi. Haley, he said at the campaign rally on Friday, and I'm quoting, is not tough enough, not smart enough, and was not respected enough to deal with such very, quote-unquote, fine people. Oy vey. He went all through. He learned something from Ramaswamy, I guess. And I'm quoting, it's good to get along with people like Putin and like others. He said this many times. It's good to get along with people that have massive nuclear weapons, end quote, Trump told Fox News last week. Well, where's the evidence? The evidence could be this. There was no wars during Trump's tenure. Or at least, not wars in that way. But let's see what's going on here. I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to make a video on this one. Right there. Russia Today. Trump won't change anything, Lavrov said. This is on the 23rd of January 2024. I'm going to make a video on this one later today, where I'm going to show you how much these guys know how American politics function. Who's really in charge? They know it. These guys, the baboons in their own country, they don't know it. But you and I, we know it. Lavrov tells us. It's not hard to figure things out, my friends. It's always que bono, who benefits, and follow the money. And then after you learn you pay attention and you make patterns out of this, you realize next time when they act in a similar situation, you say, he's gonna probably go that way. I'm 95% certain. It worked for me in about 98% of the time, or 99% of the times in politics. This guy's gonna do this way, this guy's gonna do that way. Why? It's almost the same mentality. It's the same game. It's the same dynamic. If you learn the dynamics of the game, you're going to understand which way the current is going. This way, because of that. It might come back if those guys get involved. So you just have you have to get just a little bit of information in order to figure things out. Now, what Trump says is this. I don't care who the guys over there is. He's looking for his country's interest. I am here to look for my country's interest. If I don't talk to that guy, but if I talk, maybe we can find a common denominator. Even in a family, if you don't talk, or with an enemy, you don't know what he's doing. Talk, even if it's an ugly talk. You have to have balls to go over there and talk, negotiate. That's why the diplomats are supposed to be diplomats. When you heard some diplomats saying, oh, I'm not talking to Lavrov, you're not a diplomat. That's the whole purpose. You speak with people that are uncomfortable to solve things that are not solved. How are you going to solve a problem not discussing? You expect the other one to come and suck your thing? Basically. Why? Because you're better. You identify as better. And only you can identify yourself as better than that guy. That guy cannot identify himself as better. Somehow the rule goes only the way we want it, whenever we want it. Because we can change the rule whenever it's convenient. This is garbage. The same, I reached this conclusion by observation. Paying attention, memorizing, and then you find patterns. That's the way it is. Unfortunately, these guys in our team are bad players. I'm not saying the other one are. Those guys are good players for their team. That's what bothers me. When I used to be younger, I used to play football, soccer. Okay, I get you, come over here, I would make it the team. Me and another good player, or the best on The best ones are making the teams, not the fucking people who identify as the best players. No, the guys who really were the best players by evidence. So yes, I was one of the best players over there. So I was making the team, me and this guy right here. Not the weakest one. It's discrimination. I want to play. I want to make the team. You don't even fucking get to play. You're weak. I don't want to play with you. I'm going to lose. You. Go and practice. Get better. Stop studying so much. Come in the schoolyard and play with us. Well, anyway, you know how things are. So you make the team and then you play pop, and you realize Gigi, Mikey, and Tommy are garbage. Whereas I know Tony and I was about to say Adam. No, Tony and George and Wilhelm are very good. I rather have those guys instead of motherfucker. That's what I thought. But you can kick them out. I mean, anyway, otherwise, I mean, you don't want to make it, you still make it equal because usually the people who played good football were the toughest ones. Why? It's a kind of alley cat, stray cat is the toughest. Why? Because it deals with shit. So if you play soccer well, it means you kind of spend time in the neighborhood more than others. And so on. So I was one of those guys, I was the other side. So yeah, that's the way it was. So sometimes you can afford smacking people. Get the fuck out. That's the way it was. You smack them because you can. And then they bring their brothers and older ones that you run or you fight or whatever happens. You bring your gang. And that's the way it was, my friends. Beautiful childhood. I mean, I don't complain of anything in my life. I mean, everything went 99% the way I planned it. Details are just the 1%. Details. Everything else was pak. The details are get together. All the details. You go over there and you think you meet a blonde and you meet a brunette, but you still met a woman. You know what I mean? The detail is not important. I mean, it would be important. It would be an attractive one versus an ugly motherfucker. Now that's totally different. But here it is, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Yes, those guys care for their country. These guys work for their own interest. They have their own interest, but it seems like they're a little bit more interested in their people for whatever reason, because they're dictators, I guess. That means we need a dictator? Yeah, I know. Think about it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.